Hello and welcome back to the Spiritual Warrior Training Series. Welcome to day 4. I'm so excited. This one's going to be so good. We're talking about facing fear on your path. Fear is one of those things that as we're going through our journey, when we have this fear, especially like we have this imposter syndrome come in, when we start to share our gifts, when we start to step up into this spiritual warrior path, again, it's attached to those limiting beliefs or the fear of rejection, the fear of showing up, like all of these different things. And the fear holds, we tend to go, well, I feel this resistance. I feel this fear. And we utilize that as like, oh, the feeling means if I feel that what's true in my body, it means I'm supposed to stop and wait. Can I tell you the fear is lying? It's not a signal to stop. It is literally the place to grow. That discomfort is where we grow. Most people wait for the fear to pass or like, oh, I shouldn't do this because of the fear. And that's what tends to keep us stuck is when we're feeling into those feelings and it's that resistance, but it's that discomfort we're supposed to move through. That is where we are going to have the most expansion and learn lessons. So what does that feel like when you go to step up into something else that we may have resistance to, or that may be discomfort or uncomfortable? It could be like tightness in your chest. You could be overthinking it or racing thoughts. I know myself, there's a ton of overthinking when I'm expanding because it's a place we haven't been before. So of course it's going to feel uncomfortable, but it's not meant for us to stop. It's meant for us to continue to grow through it. But again, this is the reason why we're not supposed to do it alone. We may have doubt, procrastination, second guessing showing up in those times when we're ready to expand. And then we might want to just quit. But it's like, have you ever seen that diagram of the gentleman who's digging for gold and he's digging and digging and digging. And the first one digs so far and he stops and he turns around and the gold is just literally just a little further. Usually when we feel like we've done too much, we've pushed it and we can't go further, is because we are right before that breakthrough. And if we just continue to go down that journey, we will hit the gold. We will reach that point where we were supposed to be. And then so what if we say that fear isn't really the enemy, it's the avoidance in it. It's that when we procrastinate or when we avoid doing the things that are uncomfortable, this is what we want to, that is what's holding us back versus the fear itself. The fear is just the unknown. So I want you to ask yourself, what is this fear trying to protect me from? Because fear is a survival mechanism. And so we have gone way past the time in which fear has been a life or death situation. Yes, when you're in a life or death situation, by all means, utilize the fear. That's what it's there for. But if you think about the consequence of showing up for you or sharing your truth, is that a life or death situation? Usually it's not. So really share what is it? Ask yourself the question, what is this fear protecting me from? So I want you to notice that you're going to continue, as you continue to grow and expand, you're going to continue to bump up against this fear or this uncomfortable feeling within you. But don't let it stop you. Notice that, pay attention to it, and know that on the other side of that is the growth. That means you are so close. Keep going. It means you're learning how to move with it because like I said, the expansion happens not in this comfort zone, in the expansion. The expansion happens when we're growing, right? So again, I want to offer that if you're feeling this growth, if you're feeling this or this fear that's showing up, this resistance, I want to offer you, like I mentioned yesterday, I have an intuitive healing session that you could use. That's a safe space to unpack this feeling that's within you. We get to explore and focus in on the specific areas in which you're feeling the resistance, and we get to feel through it so you're not doing it alone. And you get to regain trust in this process by kind of feeling around into it, having that support. You get to regain trust in yourself instead of usually we will see and feel the fear and leave it, okay, that's where I need to stop. But if we feel into it, again, together with somebody supporting you from this space of growth, we get to understand ourselves a little better. So what I want you to do is pay attention today where one fear that you've been circling lately or that's been sitting around you and that keeps showing up. Usually there's a reason why it keeps showing up. I want you to write it down. And then I want you to ask yourself, what is one small action today, even if it's uncomfortable? What's one small itty bitty step that you can make towards that fear? To shift it, to start being aware and understand it, to embrace it a little. I want you to ask yourself the question, what is one small action I can take today? And then do it. I want you to know that fear is part of the journey. It is not the end. It is not the place we stop. We are meant to move through it. And like I said, it is not meant for you to go through alone. Let's walk through it together. I want to invite you to be part of this journey, because the reason why you're here in this community or following along my story, following along the spiritual warrior journey, is because you are a spiritual warrior. And this is where you get to step up and claim it. But I can tell you from my own experience, there is fear along the way. And it's embracing it as you continue forward and being bold through it anyway. This is where shifts start truly happening. This is where your magic lies, on the other side of that fear. That's the gold, my friends. Anyway, have a beautiful day. We will see you next time. Take care.